Hey, deep divers, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below because we love hearing from you guys. And today we are diving deep into the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. We're looking at a recent article from the Daily Beast.
Okay.
Featuring some pretty striking insights from MSNBC host Nicolle Wallace.
Right.
And let me tell you, she did not hold back.
Well, what's so interesting here is that Wallace brings a unique perspective, She's not just a commentator. She's a former GOP operative, worked on campaigns for both Bush and McCain.
Right.
So her take on the current state of the Republican Party is especially fascinating.
Yeah, it's like watching someone react to their own house catching fire.
Yeah.
The article really highlights her visceral reaction to Trump's behavior at these recent campaign events. I mean, she uses words like gutted and devastated.
Oh.
And it really makes you wonder, what's going on beneath the surface? What's driving those emotions?
Mm-hmm. Well, you can imagine, spending years working for a party that champions certain values, a certain way of doing politics.
Right.
And then you see a figure like Trump come along who seems to embody something completely different.
Yeah.
It's not just disagreement. It's like a fundamental shift in what the party represents.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a sense of the turmoil she must be feeling.
Right.
But it's not just about Trump's behavior itself. Wallace specifically calls out his supporters for what she calls MAGA gaslighting.
Ooh, that's a strong word.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Well, it is. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation where someone tries to make you doubt your own sanity, your own perception of reality. You see something with your own eyes, but then you're told you're misinterpreting it, that you're crazy or a part of some conspiracy.
So how does that actually play out in the context of this election? Can you give us a real-world example?
Sure. So imagine you see Trump at a rally, maybe making a claim that's clearly false or engaging in behavior that seems erratic. And then his supporters insist that you're wrong, that the media is twisting things, that he's actually strong and decisive.
Wow.
It's this constant barrage of misinformation designed to make you question what you know to be true.
That's actually pretty scary when you think about it.
It is.
It's like they're trying to create an alternate reality.
Mm-hmm.
But this brings up a question, why would someone like Wallace, with her deep roots in the Republican Party, use such strong language? What's going on here?
Well, it really highlights the immense polarization we're seeing in American politics.
Okay.
We're moving away from healthy debate.
Yeah.
And towards a situation where each side sees the other as not just wrong, but a threat to the very fabric of the nation.
Right.
And that's what leads to this intensity.
She even goes so far as to describe this election as an emergency.
I mean, it's a strong word.
It's wild to think how far things have shifted. This is the same person who supported Bush and McCain.
Right. It speaks volumes about the magnitude of the change we're witnessing. This isn't just about policy disagreements anymore. This is about a fundamental clash of worldviews.
Okay.
The stakes feel incredibly high.
Yeah.
And Wallace seems to be grappling with the possibility that the party she once belonged to might be contributing to a dangerous erosion of democratic norms.
Wow. Okay, so we've got former GOP figures like Wallace, deeply troubled by Trump's accusations of gaslighting from his supporters, and a sense that the political ground is shifting beneath our feet.
Definitely.
This paints a pretty intense picture of a potentially transformative political climate.
It does, yeah. And that intensity, it's really palpable in Wallace's observation that this might be the first nonpartisan election in her lifetime.
Yeah, right? She even points to Kamala Harris campaigning with the Cheneys as an example. Wow. Talk about a political pairing you wouldn't see on your bingo card in a typical election year.
Right. It's like cats and dogs living together.
It is. It's mass hysteria.
It's a striking image. And it suggests that some voters are so concerned about the perceived threats to democracy or the future of the country that they're willing to set aside their usual party loyalties. They're forming alliances with people they wouldn't normally align with.
So are we witnessing a real-time political realignment here?
It's a good question.
Are the traditional lines between Republicans and Democrats blurring or even dissolving?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Are these unusual alliances just a temporary response to this unique set of circumstances? Or are they a sign of a more fundamental shift in the political landscape?
Like tectonic plates shifting.
Exactly. Creating a whole new political landscape.
Wow. I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
But it's clear this election is playing out on a different field than any we've seen before.
For sure.
And Wallace's perspective coming from deep within the Republican Party,
Right.
it's really invaluable for understanding the complexities of this moment.
Absolutely. Her experience allows her to see the nuances and the historical context that many others might miss.
Yeah.
She's like a seasoned guide navigating us through uncharted territory.
Okay, so let's bring it back to our listeners for a second.
Okay.
Why should they care about all of this? What's the takeaway here?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that this election is about more than just the candidates
Okay.
or their policies. It's about fundamental questions of democracy,
Right.
truth, and the direction of the country.
Right.
It's about what kind of nation we want to be.
And what about this idea of gaslighting that we were talking about before?
Right.
How should people be thinking about that in relation to this election?
It's crucial to be aware of the tactics being used to influence your thinking. Don't just accept everything you hear at face value.
Right.
Question what you're seeing and hearing, even if it's coming from sources you usually trust.
So fact check, double check, triple check.
Exactly. Do your own research, consider multiple perspectives, and be critical of information that seems designed to manipulate or mislead.
Be your own BS detector.
Exactly.
Solid advice. It's easy to get swept up in the emotional currents of an election,
It is.
but it's crucial to stay informed and think critically.
For sure.
Don't let yourself be gaslighted.
Right. And remember, your vote is your voice. It's your chance to have a say in the direction of the country. Don't underestimate its power.
So make sure you're registered and ready to rock the vote.
Yes.
Okay, deep divers, we've explored some complex terrain here,
We have.
but there's still more to uncover.
Definitely.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll delve deeper into the potential consequences of this election
Okay.
and what they could mean for the future of American politics. All right, deep divers, welcome back. We've been unpacking Nicolle Wallace's take on the 2024 election.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's a real roller coaster.
It is.
We've talked about the intensity, the unusual alliances, the gaslighting thing.
Right.
But now let's bring it all home.
Okay.
What does this mean for the everyday voter?
Well, that's the crucial question, isn't it? It's easy to get lost in the big picture, the historical significance, the potential for this political earthquake.
Right.
But ultimately, this election boils down to individual voters making choices.
Yeah.
Their choice.
It's easy to feel like one vote is just a drop in the ocean,
Right. But
Right.
but every election is a collection of those drops,
Yeah.
creating a tidal wave of change.
Exactly. And this particular election, as Wallace pointed out, it's likely to be incredibly close.
Yeah,
So each vote carries even more weight.
absolutely.
Don't underestimate your power, deep divers.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed or disillusioned by the whole political circus,
Right.
what advice would you give?
Well, I'd say remember that your vote is your voice.
Okay.
Even if you don't love the candidates, even if you're cynical about the system,
Right.
your vote is a way to express your values, your hopes for the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to say, this is what I believe in.
It's a way to participate in shaping the direction of the country.
Exactly.
So powerful.
Yeah. And as we wrap up this deep dive, let's circle back to that thought-provoking question that Wallace left us with.
Given this intense and potentially transformative political landscape, what factors do you think will be most decisive in determining the outcome of this election?
Ooh, good question. Will it be the economy, social issues, foreign policy, the personalities of the candidates, or something else entirely?
Who knows? It's a mystery.
It really is. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
We want to hear from you.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Nicolle Wallace's perspective on the 2024 election.
All right.
Remember, deep divers, stay informed, think critically, and make your voice heard.
Yes.
And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We'll see you next time.